I did not want to hug Proximus Caesar, but you are incredible.
Come
because
here.
of that.
I will give you a hug.
You get fleas.
Come.
You get fleas. Don't, you're gonna get fleas.
Come.
You're gonna get fleas.
Peter, I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to hug Raka like, the whole time. Like he's just got this.
Hugs.
He's got this soulfulness to
That's,
him.
you know.
He feels like this really familiar archetype, and I mean that in a good way. Like we've seen this character in human form a couple ways. Like the adventurer meets the sort of loner who's just like dropping knowledge on him, and you just love the guy. I mean, did you have like cinematic reference points for this guy? Were there characters that inspired him at all?
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit of a lot of like a little bit of Obi-Wan. There's a little bit of Yoda. There's a little bit of like Winnie the Pooh. He's a little bit of like Eeyore. He's a bit of
He's got a little bit of the dude.
He's a bit of the dude.
Yeah, I see that.
Vibes.
Yeah.
He's a bit of Christopher Lloyd in Back to the Future. He's a bit of like a Dr. Dolittle. He's a bit of a nutty professor. He's a bit, so yeah.
And he's got to be a little bit of you.
There's a lot of it of me, and that orangutans are incredibly solitary, and I imagine he probably talks to himself a lot, unlike myself. Like, no, I talk to myself a lot, but yeah, I mean, and he's an optimist, I think, so like a scientist, experiments and collects things, and he's just thirsty for knowledge, and he's curious about life, so.
Kevin, I did not want to hug Proximus Caesar, but you are incredible.
Come
because
here.
of that.
I will give you a hug.
You get fleas.
Come.
You get fleas. You're gonna get fleas.
Come.
You're gonna get fleas.
You always hear when the actors play, he's an incredible big bad. You're an incredible big bad. You're still in character, and I love this. But you often hear actors when they play the big bad, they say they have to humanize them. That's not quite the right word for this. Ape-eyes him. How did you find his humanity, his ape-anity?
It wasn't hard. It was just his perspective. He spent a long time studying humans in the dawn of humanity. He's read everything that he could. He has humans helping him get through all of these dense texts, these historical texts, and he's learnt about the nature of man, the rise and the fall. Thinks he could do better, and he also knows that humans are incredibly greedy and lust for power. If he allows humans to gain that power again, he's pretty sure he's going to end up in a cage again or in the laboratory being experimented on. So he didn't feel like he was bad. He was just in a rush to get things done before the humans could. He felt them. He felt like there was a potential threat there.
At the same time, I mean, how much fun is it to just yell like a tyrannical madman?
Yeah, well, it was yelling like less so a madman from my perspective, someone who really meant what he was saying, because he's got to get to that info before you stinky humans do, because he knows what you're going to do. He knows what you're capable of. Some would argue that I'm making the mistakes that humans made, but if I don't, you don't fight fire with fire.
If I told you that, you wouldn't believe me anyway. Sometimes you have to learn things the hard way.
Oh, here we go again.
I'm just saying, if you just take your time.
I understand.
And don't rush to judgment. There are alternative ways. Think outside the box, my dear boy.
Yes. Raka believes that humans and apes live together, side by side, hand by hand, doing a dance together.
That's not exactly what I mean, but I'm saying...
They wrote poetry together.
Well, the potential for how we can coexist is yet to be written. We determine that. It's up to us.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, exactly.
Let's bring out the incense and dance.
That might not
together.
be a bad idea. When is the last time you've had a wiggle break? When was the last time you've danced? Maybe you should just dance a little bit more and you'll feel better.
Wonderful. It would be a wonderful day.
We hear so much about Ape School. You guys spent 6 weeks, I believe.
Still in it.
You're still in it. You're clearly, you never left. You never left. What is the weirdest thing you have to do in Ape School?
I think the weirdest...
Become an ape?
No, I think the weirdest thing was to come back to being a human. Yeah. You spend your day, we'd be in there 6-7 hours. And just, like living in this
Some days longer than 6
Some
7
days,
hours,
well, I
bro.
just mean like, but
It
then
was
like then because Alain Gauthier, like our movement coach, would, it's part of the process to go back to being a human, so that you can sort of feel the difference in your body, and then go back to being an ape, and go back to being a human. So transitioning back to being a human, and then at the end of the day, and then like walking up the stairs, it just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? So
But I gotta say though, at the grocery store by where we were living, I mean, they must have been aware.
it was like,
that we
those
go to the
guys,
grocery store,
like,
we'd be going around.
and carrying your bags, and just like,
Need some oat milk?
where coconut water? Where's the coconut water?
Coconut.
Sweet. Yeah.
They thought you were just messing around with the bananas, but then they realized, no, they're in it. They're in it.
I mean, after about 2 months, I think they're like, what's happening with these people? This is clearly not a fad. It's not going away.
Do you still find yourself slipping into apeness?
My wife begs me to stop. My children, at first I remember my eldest was like, no. But my little one was kind of scared but fascinated.
I was like, Winter, come here. I would like to be your friend.
And then she was like, okay. And then within 10 minutes, we're like,
that just
aping
happened with
around.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, and we would play together, and it was so much fun because then she would talk to me like I was Proximus. She talks to me in all my different characters that haunt me from the years, the 3 decades. Of...
Yeah. I don't want to know what's going on with the Abigail guy.
Well, the Abigail guy's not that bad.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
Yeah.
kind of sweet. He's got issues.
We all got issues.
Didn't mind kidnapping what he thought was a little child, but other than that, he was fine.
Wow. That's true. However, he did get paid his due back.
He did get paid his due back. Well, you guys, great to talk to you both again.
Pleasure.
Huge congratulations.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.